All right, so yeah, basically you got here to Miami. You were chilling with Jackson, and then obviously you guys already kind of knew each other. But when you finally refreshed the page and then you saw the spot, and obviously you saw like the area, it's in Brickell, it's a nice area. I mean, what does an apartment like this run somebody like on a month-to-month basis?
I mean, an apartment like this, like it's gonna be you'll find them for usually like 15, 17K a month.
Okay.
I think like in most buildings.
Yeah.
This one was like really a good deal, which is why like literally when I saw it, like there was like a lot of competition to get it. Like a lot of people applied, so they just like picked whoever they felt like the best with.
Yeah, whoever's gonna most trustworthy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because like the thing is like in Miami, like everyone has money.
Yeah.
Like everyone who's applying for this place has money.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna pick whoever like they know is not gonna like fuck up on the rent or whatever, you know.
What do they ask you when you apply?
Just like proof of funds, you know, like bank statements, tax returns, things like that. And to kind of like push the envelope like a little harder, like I think we paid like a double deposit for them to like feel like chill, etc. Like, cause I really just wanted this space. Like I saw it, and so for people to know, like I was saying, like an apartment like this, like in most buildings, is gonna run you like 15, 17K.
Yeah.
Rent here is like 10.9. It's like almost 11K.
11K.
So it's like it's still, you know, as far as like rent goes, when you think about just America in general, just like an apartment, you know, like people are like, oh, that's crazy, like spending like 11K on rent. But that's just like that place like a good deal, you know. So when I saw it, I was literally like, fuck everything else, I'm getting this place, you know.
Now, did you make more money? Like, did you feel like you started making more money as soon as you got out here? Like, and well, I'll let you. Like, what about you? Like, do you think that as soon as you got here to the Penthouse specifically, like not to Miami, when you first got to the Penthouse, like how much do you think that it helped you in business, and do you think that it had any correlation to how much more money you made?
Go first, right?
Yeah, like I think definitely. I mean, me, like I have like a online business. I don't like advertise any of this, you know. Like I don't post myself on social media. I'm like really low key. But a lot of like the in-person stuff, like if you live in Miami, if you work online, you'll know a lot of people that live like in other cities, in other states, or even like in other countries. And people are often gonna like be coming to Miami, you know, like they'll be here for like a week on vacation, whatever. They might hit you up, like if you have network, you know, if you have like a national or international network, you'll get like people who are just like are in town, you know.
Yeah.
And so, or even people that live here. But yeah, like if you want to have like a meeting or something, you know, like just like swing by our place, you know, like we'll smoke hookah, we'll talk like business, whatever, whether it's like a client or like a potential like business partner or associate or whatever. Like this is just like a good look in general, you know, like you're the guy that, you know, you have a penthouse.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks good, and it gives like a good impression rather than like if you lived in like some place that, you know, like it's superficial, like it doesn't change anything to how I would conduct business with that person.
Yeah.
Like I could live in a studio apartment and I'm still doing the same quality of work and still doing like all that stuff, but it just gives like a strong impression. Like people want to work with who they like, they want to work with who they know is like successful. Like if you're successful, that means you're doing something right. You know? And they'd much rather be like, all right, this guy, you know, like the way he talks about his business, like he knows what he's talking about. He seems like a hardworking guy, like he seems smart, and you know, he has these things like it gives like a good impression of yourself.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say like it translated into business.
So I mean, it's just like a compliment to what you're already doing. So like, how has your life changed? You already had a motion before the Penthouse. Yeah. And when I met you, you were basically at another Penthouse. So it's not like, but obviously
it wasn't like this, but yeah, it was a Penthouse.
Yeah. So now like moving closer to like the motion, and now it's a nicer spot.
Yeah. So
how has it changed you?
So yeah, for personal brand, it's just crazy. You know, like what Ben was saying, like motherfuckers seeing you in the Penthouse, and they're just like, damn, it's a Penthouse. And like in Brickell, like here in Brickell, we live in the heart of Brickell. Like Moxie's is right there. Fucking what else? Just, you know, the main strip is right here.
Bounce,
So
sexy fish.
So we walk out and like Brickell is just not a real place, bro. Like you walk outside and there's like SVJs right there, Rolls Royces. Like I'm talking about like any single day, weekday, weekend, anytime. There's just foreign cars everywhere. Like throughout the whole day and night, I just hear Lamborghini just driving through here, revving the engine, and just the people. You know, I feel like everybody here in Brickell is just like entrepreneurs, fit people, successful people, and the girls. Like, it's just like I can't like no other place compares to Brickell, Miami. Like, there's Miami and then there's Brickell. You know, so it's like it's just crazy. Like so many people, it's just very luxury, very materialistic.
So if somebody's coming like to travel, where do you recommend for them to stay? Because a lot of times, people,
Brickell, 100%
people are gonna be like, "Yo, South Beach."
Yeah, South Beach is ghetto. Don't go to South Beach. Don't ever go to South Beach. So yeah, it's like here honestly like Miami and just Brickell is just very materialistic. You know, it's very flashy. People wearing diamonds, diamond chains,
I mean,
bust down watches.
it's inspiring, you know.
Yeah.
It's definitely inspiring.
One thing,
Like-
go ahead.
You know, like they say, like money's a good servant but a bad master. You know.
Yeah.
Like if you see all the diamonds and everything, like there's ways of you to like use it badly or to feel badly about it,
Yeah.
like jealousy or things like that, you know.
Yeah.
But there's also ways of like feeling like using it like for good, you know.
Yeah.
And you can find it inspiring or you can just find it, you know, like aesthetically like
Pleasing.
nice, like pleasing, etc. You know, like all that. At the end of the day, if you're coming to Miami, you want kind of like a fast, exciting life, you know.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you want the fast car, you want the car that's like loud, you want the car that's nice, you want to wear nice stuff, just all that. And seeing it around you, you know, is like.
It's like you can't not have it.
But also, it shows you it's possible.
Yeah.
Like if you stay in a place where there's none of that, then you'll just get comfortable real quick. If you live in the middle of nowhere and you make like 10K a month,
Then you're good.
like you're balling. You
Yeah.
know? Like if you live in the middle of like New Mexico or like somewhere like in the
Anywhere
middle
but
of-
Miami.
Yeah.
Anywhere but
literally, like-
Miami, New York, and LA.
I think like it keeps you in check because like you can make a lot of like it keeps you in check. Like there's a lot of like ways where like people in Miami might like ball out in like wrong ways, like ball out of control and stuff like that. But also, it puts you in an environment where it kind of humbles you. You know, you can make a lot of money, but there's people around you making more.
Yeah.
You know, and either like it makes you want to make more, or you're just gonna be like, okay, like I know I'm doing good for myself, but I also know there are bigger people.
Bigger
you know,
fish.
and, like yeah.
Yeah, like there's people out here, like you go on Venetian, you go on Star Island, this is island. There's people that are living in $40 million mansions, $50 million mansions with yachts in the backyard. Like
People paying like 80K in rent, you know, like
Yeah.
shit like this.
Yeah.
You know?
60,000, bro. I heard Wes Watson's car payments. Like he put.
oh yeah, and then now, bro, there's like fucking Bugattis are starting to become normal here, bro.
Yes.
There's like 8 Bugattis always here in Brooklyn.
Literally.
Literally like 6 to 8 Bugattis that always come to Brooklyn. It's crazy.
Yeah, he said what 800. He said he put 800,000 down, and his payment is 60 bands a month
On a car.
on a car. Right. So we're talking about 10K in rent.
It's crazy.
Right. People may look at Ben and Azarel and be like, yo, y'all are crazy as fuck. 11 grand in rent.
Yeah.
But these guys are looking at Azarel and Ben like,
It's
yo.
just for something they drive, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like my fucking car payment is 60 bands,
Yeah.
bro. What the fuck you talking about?
But that's the thing is like we live here, like we pay for the things that we pay for, we make the money that we make, etc. And we're not like we're not douchebags like feeling like we're on top of the world. Like there are people out there paying 60K a month for a car.
Yeah, you're still. Would you still? Do you consider your okay? Based on Miami, not the rest of the world, but based on Miami, where do you see yourself in the pool? Like as far as like top guys, like you see.
Yeah,
yourself
definitely
at-
top. Like you have to remember, you know, like I've lived in cities like LA or Miami. Like obviously Miami's like really top, but and in Brickell you'll definitely forget that because Brickell's not real.
Yeah.
Like as I said, like Brickell's literally not real. Like you'll walk out and it's only like really like bad girls, like they're fucking really hot and everything.
Big
And then you'll
tits.
see guys that are like super rich. You'll see crazy cars, etc. You know, some of it's like rented, whatever. Like doesn't matter. But like you'll
Even a
see all that
rental,
like.
How much is a rental running? $1,000.
Yeah. It's that's the thing. Like, it's still, you know, some people they're like, oh, your car's rented. Like, bro, like, if that guy was renting like the whole month, he's actually spending a lot. You know?
That's a lot of money.
Like,
yeah.
that's actually a lot of money. But anyway, yeah, you'll see all that, and you'll forget like the regular life for sure. Like, I always stay in Brickell. Like, I work like here. Like, I'll go out, you know, just like get food or whatever, meet up with some people and stuff like that. If anything, if I'm going like outside of Brickell, it's gonna be a yacht or a club. That's pretty much it. And
Yeah.
and like, yeah, you'll forget like about real life. You know, you'll forget that 99% of the population, all the people that work in the stores that are here, all the people that work in the etc. You know, they're just like regular people,
Yeah.
and they make like regular people money and stuff like that. Like they're not entrepreneurs like you'll see walking around in Brickell, and like you'll forget about that. So like even if you're not like the fucking richest guy with a Bugatti, blah blah blah, like you're still at the top. Like if you live here,
Yeah.
and you know if you live here and you know you're making like you make your own money, you're your own boss, and you pay rent here, even if you have a 1 bedroom or whatever, like you're pretty up there. You know,
Yeah.
like even if you have a 1 bedroom, you're spending like 3-4K a month on rent. Like you know,
Bro,
like that's
when I first got here, and I was, me and Azarel were hanging out and everything, and he was in the transition of moving over here and all that kind of stuff. So I was renting a room week to week or whatever, or even just like sometimes I would just do like daily rates at the hotels, like the nice hotels that are around here in the area, just to be in the scene. But even then, on a monthly basis, I was spending like $5,200 just, you know, like literally
just living.
just living here.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't even have a real spot. You know what I mean? Like to say like, yo, I'm spending $5,000 in rent, and in a place that I don't even live. You know what I mean? Plus, I got a whole another spot in Atlanta. So I mean, I like what you were saying though, because ultimately speaking, sometimes we forget. Like, it humbles me when I go back to Atlanta and like, you know, I'm looking at all these things, and then I look at prices of things, and then I'm like, holy shit! Like gas is only $2.99.
Yeah.
Right, and Brickell is $5.99 at the fucking station. So it's like, you're right when you say that, bro. It's like we forget that not everybody does this, and right now we're in a big. I think right now we're in a change where we haven't necessarily seen before, where we were all indoctrinated to go get jobs, and go to college, and go do all the shit, but then now you guys have like Ben, like Azarel, right? Guys that just literally just walked out of the matrix, like just decided one day to just, you know what, I'm not gonna do the regular 9 to 5 shit. I'm not gonna go the corporate route. I'm gonna just bet on myself, or whatever the case may be.
It's like a character thing for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't really matter how much money you make. Either you're your own boss or not.
Yes.
Like if you make 5K a month and you live like you don't live here, you live like you can be anywhere else.
And
If
don't
you're
have to,
like running your own
yeah.
business and you're your own boss, and you know like to discipline yourself, because you know no one's giving you a schedule, no one's telling you like come at the office, no one's telling you like come to like this or whatever. Like that's already like so much. Like if you make 5K, like trust me, there's like people who are like high-end, you know, high-end lawyers, high-end, you know, whatever they do, and they're still fucking slaves.
Yeah.
Like they might make like multiple 6 figures or like even more a
Bro,
year.
Bro, I mean,
They're still slaves
I was
because
in-
like they got a job, like they got someone telling them, etc. Like freedom, you gotta be your own man.
I was in the position like that where, you know, I was making $250,000 at, you know, 22 or 23 years old, working at a car dealership. I was a finance manager. I was producing like a lot of money. I was year after year, for 3 years in a row, I was putting over, you know, $2.7 million on the books for that company, right? So I felt like I had it all figured out until I realized that, you know, they own me. Right? At the end of the day, they own me in some way, shape, or form, because I can't get up and go. If my mom has an emergency, I gotta ask my boss, or like, you know, like I can imagine if you have kids, like, okay, kid.
Oh, then you're locked in. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing is, as like time goes,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to like start taking care of like your parents that are getting older. You're gonna like have like a significant other that you share, you know, like financial responsibility with.
Kids.
You're gonna have kids. You're gonna have stuff like that. Like there's a moment where you're locked in.
Yeah.
Like what are you gonna do? Like take a huge risk, and then because when you start is when it's the hardest. When you start, it's like the sleepless nights, the anxiety's fucking high, like all that shit. Like imagine if you have a family, bro. Like you're running on 3 hours of sleep, trying to like make money for the family, deal with the family, take care of the take care of the wife, take care of the kids. Like bro, you're gonna crash out, you know.
You're problem solving all day long. But I mean, I think those are just qualities or characteristics of just being a man. Like for you, Azarel, I mean, I learned this from you when I first met you, bro. Like you were very I guess you could say self-efficient, meaning you didn't need anyone else in your life for you to, you know, be able to do anything. Right? And I realized that because I didn't have that necessarily that mindset all the way until, you know, I started getting exposed to more and more things. And I see a guy like Azarel, super disciplined, super fit, not drinking, not any of that. So how has that helped you differentiate your brand from everyone else? Like just being so dedicated to fitness, but most importantly, like the most shocking thing is like being a promoter and then not even consuming alcohol. Like what you could share for everybody else that helps you have that mindset?
I mean, it just depends on what you want to do in life, you know. So it's like I prioritize my fitness and like my physique, you know. So in order to have a good physique, you have to have certain habits, you know. So you have to eat a certain amount of protein a day. You can't, you know, partake in like drugs, alcohol. Like you can, like once you have the physique, like I could drink and it's not gonna ruin my physique, but you know, like for me to get the physique, I had for like a year, 2 years, just had a meal prep, you know, weigh all my food, hit the gym hard, and then, you know, it just depends on what you want to do. You know, not everybody wants to have a good physique, so then that's why they don't, you know, they don't do the things required. So it just depends on what you want. You know, if you want the good physique, you're gonna do what it's gonna take to require it.
If you want it bad enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it important? Like, do you think it has a correlation on how much money you make?
I mean, yes, but that's not the case for everybody because there's a whole bunch of fat fucks in the world that are just filthy rich and don't prioritize their health. So
There's
it's
those
just,
rich motherfuckers that are broke.
and then there's also motherfuckers like Wes Watson and Yados that are millionaires driving Bugattis off of fitness, you know?
That's true.
So it just depends how you want to live, your morals, what you desire.
But then it's also like there's a point where like there's gonna be an amount of money that you'll have made, and you'll have gone through like all the things that you thought you wanted, etc. You know, and like money's gonna become like one of the important things. You know,
Okay.
like once you don't even like once you're at a point where you don't have to look at prices anymore, doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do. You're just not looking at prices. Then money's just like
A tool.
a number. Well, it's also just a number, like on your fucking bank account.
Yeah,
you know?
digital.
It's literally a number, like you would see. Like that number looks the same as any other number that you would find like on your phone or on the internet, whatever. It's just a number.
Yeah.
And so, you know, more than one thing like becomes important. And then it's like, yeah, you gotta take care of your health because like, what are you gonna do? Like, you only have so much time like on this earth. Where you're gonna like spend all that time like feeling unwell, you know? Like yeah, there's like short-term sacrifices that you have to make, but at least like your health, you know, then like fitness, etc. Like that's like on top of it.
So you would
But,
put health number one.
I mean, health is all we have, bro.
Health is over money, right?
And you know, you compromise, bro. Like, bro, I've like lived unhealthily to work hard, and I've cut corners and everything, and you know, everyone has. Like, bro, like not sleeping enough, like that's not good for you, you know, like, like. But when your brain's just like, you can't fucking think because you gotta make rent, you know, like you're not gonna be like, no, I'm getting my 8 hours. You're gonna be like, fuck, it's 4 a.m. still can't. I haven't been able to sleep in like 2 hours. What am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna just work, you know.
Yeah.
And then you'll fucking fall asleep at some point. Like you're, you know, like all these things. It's hard to like stay disciplined under like pressure, and you learn that.
Yeah.
But then there's just like,
how did you learn that lesson though? Like, give me an example of a time that you failed that you were like, oh fuck, like I really got to get this shit together.
like business wise or like health wise.
Both, just any
Like health-wise, bro, like,
overcoming.
There's definitely been like periods of time where, dude, I'd be like running on fumes, you know, like I'd be like working so fucking hard on a project, and the project was supposed to be 10 days, and 10 days become 2 weeks, and 2 weeks become 3 weeks, you know, like some shit like this.
Yeah.
And then you're always, you know, like
Oh, I'm
drinking more coffee.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like you're in that sort of loop, and then you're gonna be done with it at some point, and hopefully, you know, you finish the project successfully. But like, it gets tough, you know, and then you know, it's pros and cons.
How much do you think that it has to do with procrastination though? Like,
Yeah, like there's definitely, you know, you hit diminishing returns. Like when
Talk
you
to
get
us about
tired, like you might take 3 hours to do something that if you were well rested, you would take 1 hour. But then there's also things like, and that's like the thing that like you have to understand, like once you start having like an actual company,
Yeah.
and not just like a lot of people have like high paying jobs.
yeah.
Like a lot of people just like they work, like they're the worker of their company.
Yeah.
But once you have a company and you hire people and you work with a bunch of people, like for example, like my business, like I hire people and like I have people 24/7. Any time of the day, there's people like awake and working on tasks, working on projects, working on stuff like that. And there's times where I just need to spend time with these people. Like I just need to spend time. Like there's people that like if I went to bed like at the same time every day and I woke up at the same time every day, I would just never talk to them. Like unless, you know, I talk to them and then they read my message and they answer blah blah.
Yeah.
But then there's times where it's like, all right, I need to spend time with like the night team, like the nighttime team. You know?
Oh.
And that means I'm gonna like go to bed late. and that means like I need to like work on them because I need to like teach them something new, or I need to like pass information, or I need to like onboard them on like a new system or a new strategy or whatever, and like, you know, I might spend their whole shift with them, which is 8 hours.
Yo.
You know, which means like I'm not going to bed at midnight, I'm going to bed at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then, you know, etc. And then there's like times where company has to like fucking run, and you know, it's different stages.
Yeah.
Like if your company's like that all the time, then you're doing it wrong. That means you need to hire like a manager to like oversee shit when you're sleeping, oversee shit when you're not available, oversee shit like that. If it happens every once in a while, it's okay because it means, you know, you're pushing the limits, you're always growing.
And so people will argue on that topic. People will say.
But that's also specific to like my like some people it's just like
well, no,
closing hours.
I think you're onto something though, because I think it's something that applies to any business, and again, it obviously depends on the level that you're at. You know, if you're first starting, then like if you're first starting out in business, like I'll give you the example of myself, right? There's a lot of things that I still have to do myself.
Yeah.
Like simply because I know I'm not at the level to necessarily hire someone, or simply because it's a task that it does not take a lot for me to do. So me hiring somebody doesn't make sense if I can do that task myself. However, in your case, right, when you start scaling your company and you start getting to bigger levels, you're absolutely right. Some people, the reason that they don't scale is because they're not willing to hire someone.
That's the thing, they're too scared of like someone else doing what they do. But what you gotta understand is like, if you're someone starting a company, like no one's gonna understand your company better than you do. No one's gonna understand like you're gonna have, you know, it's gonna be a rare circumstance where you're gonna be able to like hire someone that understands your business better than you do.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a rare circumstance where you're gonna be able to like hire someone that understands the industry better, that knows the clients better, whatever, you know, like that's like really like when you're getting up there. So for a long time, you're gonna be the best person in your company. And you can choose to do it all yourself like for a long time, or you can start, you know, hiring the right people to do stuff. What you need to understand is like a lot of people, delegate. A lot of people, they think they need to hire one person to replace them. No, you need to find like the 4 things that you do the most and hire 4 people to do each. And either do it, and you know, if they do it as good as you, that's good. If they do it better than you, that's even better. But if they do it like 75% as good, and you just need to like help them a little bit every once in a while, that's still worth it, because at the end of the day, you're freeing up time to potentially work on something that's like more high impact. You know.
And how did you learn business, bro? Like, so for example, like, was it something that, okay, maybe your father comes from business, or maybe like, you know, you went to business school, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you started businesses. Like, what did you do before you started your own business, or was it always like, you know what, fuck a job?
Yeah, it was always fucking job. like I know like no one in my family has ever even tried business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they've always been like
No,
employees.
never. It was always like trying to go to like university, trying to do something, you know, etc. And like, yeah, like you know, no one had. I mean, shit. I had never heard of like making money online. You know, I slowly discovered it by like, you know, trying little things. You know,
What was the
like I
first
started like for example, when I got out of high school, I went to college like maybe like 2 weeks, and so people know like I'm from Europe. Like college is like pretty much free. It's not like I started a whole ass tuition and I bailed on it. You know? Like I like signed up for college. I went 2 weeks and I was like, shit, like what am I gonna do? Like sit in class for another 4 years? Like I can't. And it was literally fucked up. Like I did nothing instead of going. Like literally I just didn't go. And so I was like doing literally nothing. Like I would have rather done nothing. Like went to college, and
What did your parents want you to study?
They didn't want me to study anything in particular. They just wanted me to go. And what I had picked was something that was like, I can't remember because like the name of it is like in French, you know. Okay. But like it's something like logistics and science. It's like logistical, you know, like
Transportation business.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Which honestly is something that I feel like could have been like a good fit for me. Like I'm kind of like, I like to plan stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, like
you started getting exposed to the business like just.
Well, I got into like I went to like a coding boot camp.
Oh, okay, coding.
And so like I started like learning how to code, and I failed like hell. Bro, I sucked, bro. Like the coding boot camp was like hard as fuck, and people fail like even if they know how to code.
Okay.
Like, and I didn't know anything. So I tried it once, I failed. I did like a second time, I passed. Because bro, I was literally like, I discovered like something for like the first time. You know, I was like, like I come like back home, like everyone I knew was like a bum. Like no one wanted to do anything. Like in Europe, bro, you don't even make that much. Like if I
Where are you
had
from?
made,
What country are you from?
well, I'm from France, but like at the end of my high school, I was living in Belgium.
Oh shit, like Brussels or some shit, or is it?
Like not that far, yeah, like an hour and a half away from that. Like and the like unemployment rate is like super high. You know, like you're lucky, like you'd be happy to make like 2K a month.
Oh really?
Like really, bro.
So
Like,
you survive off the
before
government?
I was thinking like, you know, if I even made like 2K a month, like that'd be good. Like literally that was my
Oh, that was your
mentality.
mindset.
Yeah, like because that's all I was seeing.
Yeah.
Like online business, etc. Like that wasn't like a conversation at all. Anyone that I saw that made like more money than anyone working like a bum job was just a drug dealer. You know, like anyone.
Shit.
The only people I saw like making decent money were people that were doing stuff like that, and everyone I saw that was like living an honest life was like poor and miserable. You know.
So that just is a key indicator that the system's broken. Clearly, if like
it was fucked, bro.
the people that are doing good are like struggling, but the people that are breaking the law or like doing stuff outside of the system.
Well, you know, they end up in jail often. You know, like,
Yeah.
a lot of these people that they just end up getting arrested at some point.
Yeah, because
You know, how long can you do that stuff? You know. Not
So-
that long.
I think it's fair to say that even here though, because like I'll be in Atlanta or maybe not so much in Miami, but like I'll be in Atlanta or whatever in Georgia, and I'll pull up to the gas station with a Corvette or whatever,
Yeah.
and like people give you that look like this motherfucker's a drug dealer, has to be,
Yeah.
like
I mean,
has to be.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah. Well, especially people who can't. I think in Miami it's a bit different because people are like, you know, the general population of Miami is being exposed to like younger guys, like you know, coming or younger people in general. Guys, there's girls too.
Yeah.
Coming here and like that make you know money, they have business, etc. You know, I mean shit like here, like bro, when I press the elevator floor, there's like 50-year-old guys that look at me and I'm like, shit, you live at the penthouse? They live on like the 20th floor, you know? Like, bro, they look at me, they're like, I can tell, like obviously, you know, I'm saying, but like
They worked their whole lives to be living what you were able to live in. How long? Like 2-3 years. You know.
shit,
How long
yeah. I
how
mean,
long
I've
did it
been
build
like,
your-
I mean, technically, like, I've been really like trying hard for like 5-6 years.
Oh, okay.
But I've been making money for like maybe 2. And I was trying hard on stuff that wasn't like really business. It was more like making, you know, making money online outside of, you know, not having a job. It was just like, you know, creating my own job.
Yeah, you were
Like consulting work, stuff like that.
Freelancing
You know,
shit.
freelancing shit, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like I did that for a while. I didn't really have like the business like approach too much, and then I picked it up like pretty much like a lot later.
But just that in itself, like even like a lot of people now, like you tell somebody that they gotta sell something and they like run from it. They're like, oh hell no.
Yeah, because it's like it's uncomfortable. But that's also like even coming back to what we were saying earlier, like the reason why I mean one of the reasons, you know, it's just like some of it's like it's scary, it's uncomfortable, blah blah. But like one of the reasons why it took me so long to like really get into business, being like, oh, I want to make like actual real fucking money,
Yeah.
is because my mindset was like, oh, like it'd be good if I made like 2K a month, which means when I was doing freelancing and I made 5K a month, then 7, then 10, I was like,
You were straight.
yo, I make so much money, you
Yeah.
know. And even then, I was like living in America, like I had moved to America already, and like 10K a month isn't like, it's good, but it's like not still like insane, you know. But I was feeling like really comfortable and good about how I was doing.
Yeah, you were feeling like.
And now if I made 10K, bro, I couldn't even afford.
Yeah, you can't afford rent.
Like,
Yeah. No, it's funny. That's how, like I said, for me, you know, coming from corporate, I always had the entrepreneurial mindset, but I just never knew the vehicle to do it in. And, you know, obviously I was just good at selling, you know, cars and I was good at selling warranties and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I knew how to put up bread at a company. Then I started training salespeople, and that's when I realized, like, okay, you know what, I have a skill set. But, you know, I say all that to say that I was making about, just to give you an idea, $30 grand a month, okay? Then I come to Miami, and I was able to make 30 grand, like just same kind of style, like freelancing or whatever. But then I come to Miami, and then it's like, holy fuck, 30 G's ain't gonna get me like the life that I want necessarily, even. You know what I mean? And even 30 grand sounds like a lot to people. 30 grand a month, right? But
even 30 grand a month with the expenses that I had up there and the investments that I had.
and it's also like, you know, when you're on the come up, you don't have the compound. too.
Mhm.
Like if you've made like 30K for like 30K a month for like 4 years, like you should have like pretty good money in the bank. You
Yeah.
know, like you should be, you know, nothing to complain about. If you, you know, if you've only been starting to make 30K for like 3 months, 6 months, like
Yeah.
a year, you know, like especially us that don't come from money, like you're gonna spend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like bro, you're gonna try and have fun because like also like what's the point of money if you don't spend it?
Yeah.
You know, like money's only as useful as what you do with it.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah,
There's a-
you're gonna spend, you're gonna experience life, you're gonna make like a lot of like, you know,
Dumb mistakes.
like dumb mistakes for sure. Because you know who taught us? No one.
No one.
Bro, you know, we got taught like if anything, like if we had like, you know, adults in our life, like even growing up, like a lot of people don't, but we got taught about the stuff that was around our lives then,
Yeah.
and around like their lives then.
Yeah. College employees.
Yeah, all that stuff, you know. But like the kids that were born with money, you know, their parents like teach them, like they're exposed to a lot of like money things.
They know how
early.
to do their like taxes.
Well, they know how to do all that, and they also know like they're unimpressed by anything flashy. They're not gonna fall into like too
It's
much
like us now.
partying.
It's like us now. Like
Yeah.
now
But we have to learn ourselves.
if we were to start in business again, right, knowing what you know now and experience like actually having the money and all that kind of stuff, now I feel like it's a lot more easier to do the things that we were supposed to do, which was save, invest, and do all this.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You just need to get it out of your system. You know?
Yeah.
You need to like do all the things to then like do as many things as possible so you can understand what matters to you and not. And that's it. Like that's all that matters. And then you start making like the genuine like good decisions for your life, whether they're money related or not.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like what we were saying earlier. Like there comes a point where you know money's, you know, it doesn't like matter as much as some other things become more important too, like your health, like things like that. But also like, you know, coming to Brickell is not just making more money; it's also getting network. Like that's like a big thing, even if it doesn't come into business.
Okay.
Or it might come into business. Like it doesn't like you can come to Brickell, and even if you get like 0 new clients or 0 new, you know, like suppliers or whatever your business
Yeah, like
needs,
zero
you
sales.
still get to know people that you know that might you know be important for your next business because you know you're gonna have a next business.
Yeah.
Like that might be important for like anything else, and even like just other stuff. You know, like if you know the right people and you need to travel, you need a visa. Like I need a visa for this country like quick.
Yes. Okay.
And you know a guy who knows a guy, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then it happens. If you know no one, you can have all the money you want.
And you still don't
you
have
don't
that.
have the connect.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have anything. There's a lot of people that make, you know, they still live where they grew up or whatever. They make so much online money, but they're bums like because
They don't know anybody.
they don't know anybody and they don't have like they have no stories, they have no experiences. All they have is like they bought a big house in their like town. They like you know
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
at the end of the day like
They're
there's
the-
gonna be people that have and here's the thing why like women are like such a good indicator of who you are as a man
Okay.
is like you can have a lot of money and there's gonna be guys and there's like so many parameters, so many reasons why something might happen, etc. that you know might not necessarily be related to that. But there's gonna be guys who have like 10% of your money that might get the girl that you can't. You know, like there's guys that like they have things that are important that are not money related.
Yeah.
So like there's guys that make like so much money, but they're bums. Like they don't take care of themselves. They have no experience. They've never traveled. Like a girl's gonna like want all these things from a guy. Like if she travels with them, he needs to know like everything. You know, he needs to know how to like get the currency. He needs to know how to get the like. He needs, like, you know, he needs to be a leader, and all these things have nothing to do with money.
Yeah, none of
You
the,
know?
yeah, none of
So
those
once you make good money, you start also like developing the other like important things, you know, and those comes from experiences. Those come from like all the other things, like your abilities, aside from purely professional, like things like that.
I think it's important for any man to be able to function in society without money.
Yeah.
Like, I think the money
Or
helps.
not have to constantly leverage money.
Exactly.
Because if all you have is money,
Then you're poor.
then if you need anything,
Yeah.
the only option is to pay.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And
'cause
there's
you don't
things that
offer
can't
any
be.
other- you don't offer any other
there's things
value.
that can't be like purchased anyway, and then, and even then, like that means you're the guy that has to pay to get anything. But if you're like the guy, you get a lot of shit for free.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, look at Azarel, bro.
Yeah, look at this, bro. This guy.
Yo, this fucking guy is like, you talk about network. This motherfucker.
This guy's chilling, bro.
Like literally, he gets invited to every fucking party, and then he'll be like, "Yo, guys, I just got invited to a sick ass party." He's like, "Oh, y'all can't come though."
Y'all can come, but it's 2 bands. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit like this. I mean, it's true. That's true, bro.
Damn, that shit looks nice as fuck.
Does it really? Like the
Hell,
lighting
that
is
shit
fine?
looks nice as fuck.
We should have had this up.
Yeah.
This is always down. Is the battery down?
No, it is going, bro. This shit is fire. Like the
Y'all cook.
view. I'm gonna stop it right there.